Why is it that you can take 10 guys who all have total testosterone above 800, but yet they all feel completely different? Some of them might feel like a king, and the others, they can't even get out of bed. SHBG is going to determine how effective the testosterone that you inject will be on you. So it sounds like we've come across some buried treasure here.
Now you're mine.
90% of the time, it's underestimated and overlooked. But the more you know about this hormone, the better prepared you'll be if you find a deficiency or if you find it's too high on your cycle. What's up, SHBG? My friends call me G. Roger that. It serves as a time-release delivery mechanism to targeted tissues. Plus, it will regulate your free estrogen to free androgen balance. It is a protein, and just like all proteins, it degrades. And when it does, it releases the captured testosterone and puts it back into the bloodstream for use. If it's low, you're going to have difficulty maintaining an erection, low sex drive, acne, and you're going to be irritable because you're going to have a lot of free androgens rattling around in your brain. So where does it all fit in? Your total testosterone is everything. SHBG, albumin, and free test. Bioavailable is bound by albumin and it includes free testosterone. SHBG is part of total test, not free test. But as free declines, the SHBG will start to release some of the bound testosterone, making it free. That's going to allow you to have a reserve total while the free test is not spiking and then crashing. That is why it's key to monitor SHBG, because then you know how frequently to do your injections. Most people go wrong because they just look at the total test. They're not paying attention to the free testosterone. First step, get your biomarkers checked. Ideally, you want high total, high free, and mid to high SHBG. That's the sweet spot, because that's going to give you the most balanced E2 levels as well. If your SHBG is low, don't block estradiol. Let's say someone injects 250 a week for 4 weeks to start their cycle. They get their total test levels back and it's only 900. And at this point, they're thinking, do I need to inject more testosterone then? Nope. You need more SHBG. You've got a problem here because you're now wasting your jabs. So when you pin your test, that results in you flushing the testosterone that you've injected out of your body very quickly. It's going down the toilet. Versus someone who has higher SHBG, because they have the ability to bind up the test, deliver it, and regulate how much goes to the targeted tissues. They're maintaining a good balance between the hormone profiles. It gets low when you abuse androgens, Anavar, Winstrol, Debol. Deca doesn't touch it, and Proviron, that destroys it. If you're overweight or you're obese, you're going to have an impaired fasting glucose state, insulin resistant. Thyroid status is also very important because it's going to indirectly stimulate SHBG production. So on your blood work, you'll see TSH elevated, which is pointing to hyperthyroidism. Supplements like fish oils, magnesium, vitamin D, and boron will also lower it. Even the guys that think they know what they're doing get it wrong, because they'll say the problem with low SHBG is your free testosterone is too high. However, the main problem is the high free DHT. Well, really, it's the ratio of free DHT to free E2 that's getting out of whack. Therefore, they lower SHBG too much using Masteron or Proviron, and they feel like crap. Because they're increasing their androgens even more, further skewing that ratio to a greater degree. If you want to increase it, the best thing to do is like the video.
Stop it. Get some help.
Maybe you've crushed your SHBG from dieting, being shredded, and using too much Primo, Anavar. Add in tamoxifen 10 milligrams a day. This is going to indirectly produce SHBG in the liver. You can also do HCG if you've crushed your E2 levels and your SHBG is low. Once these are raised, you're going to feel a higher libido. And also add in some T3 25 mcg every day. Run this protocol for 1 to 2 weeks. Don't be deficient in any micronutrients, saturated fat and cholesterol. Make sure you get some oats in. That's going to bring it up as well. You can try some calorie restriction in a low carb diet, intermittent fasting or keto. Have a go at that for 4 to 8 weeks. Creatine will raise the ATP needed to produce the SHBG. Add in some berberine to increase your insulin sensitivity. A wild card is DHEA. It might lower it in the short term, but raise it in the long term because of its role in insulin metabolism. Is there a bigger issue here if your SHBG is high? I recommend you don't just crush it and move on. It could be an indirect measure of something else that is off. Consider addressing insulin resistance, liver issues. Maybe you've got a fatty liver disease caused by drinking alcohol too much or painkillers. Also check adrenal related issues, so that's DHEA and cortisol. And check out your IGF-BP3 just to see if your body's making a sufficient amount of human growth hormone, or maybe you're injecting it. SHBG is complex, not something we want to be tampering with if we don't know what we're doing. That's why some guys are best not even knowing about it. Walk around complaining, living like crap with a low sex drive, but high levels of test. In any case, the idea of a smart and safe cycle is to make sure your hormone profile is being properly monitored, assessed, and managed. This is going to allow you to get the physique you want and enjoy the mission. So if you need help and guidance on your cycle, or you need legit sourcing, reach out for coaching. There's a link in the description box below. You hit that link, I'll get back to you when I can. The next video coming up is all about your nutrition and diet when you're on the juice. It's not the same as being natural. See you in that video, brother. I'm out.